Gravel by California here, doing some travel for some gravel out in Placer County. Now, the Auburn area is well known for its trails and adventure history, especially from the Western States 100. My interest is also in this early gold rush history, or as some others would call it, minor details. Let's roll. Auburn is one of the best examples of being both a preserved and thriving town from the gold rush era, thanks to being a county seat and a nexus of crossroads and trains. That pioneering spirit is still alive, most prominently from the Western States 100-mile endurance run, which follows this historic route from Olympic Valley. The Auburn State Recreation area extends about 20 miles up from the forks of the American River, with a number of trails abound. It is also the site of the Tour de Placer-Roubaix, led by the Victory Velo Bike Shop, which is very gravel friendly and helped us out on our route. While this ride was only 30 miles, this loop packed in 4,200 feet of climbing, with the majority of vertical on dirt. We started a few miles north in the small town of Weimar, leading us under the railroad and the first couple miles of mainly rollers and countryside flair. The turn off to Yankee Jims Road is easy to spot, and you'll enjoy the smooth downhill and shade for the first mile. The last road you pass signals the transition to dirt as you follow the ravines into Bunch Canyon, with a slightly bumpy surface that allows to open it up as you unknowingly pass abandoned mines. While part of the foothills of the Sierras, temperatures can get quite hot and you appreciate the landscape. The interesting thing is we're probably sitting only at 1,500 feet above sea level, but it's real foresty here. A big contrast with Southern California. That's an us problem. As the heat neared 90 degrees, an instant cooling sensation overcame us as we soon laid eyes on the North Fork of the American River. While it was a comfort to come by any type of water, the centerpiece is the Yankee Jims Bridge, which has been helping with dry crossings since 1930. It's sturdier than it looks, and it's worth taking more than a moment. But lingering too long might entice you into taking a dip. It's clear you have a lot of uphill coming out of the gorge, with an initial climb of almost 5 miles to Yankee Jims at over 6%. This ascent heads up into Devil's Canyon, along with other tributaries. And if you're having trouble with the first kilometer, a quick retreat under this waterfall can't hurt. Water bottle refill? You gain elevation fast, but the road soon economizes space with a series of switchbacks with a fair amount of shade to temper the heat. On the downside, the trees block a good part of the views, but you can keep a good tempo, and before you know it, you hit pavement with a kilometer left in the climb. soon the landscape becomes noticeably barren, as a clue to the early mining that took place as you reach this historic landmark. The large mining town of Yankee Jims came and went quickly after his gold discovery in 1850, as well as for Yankee Jim, who was hung for grand larceny a couple of years later. At this junction, you can shorten the loop by taking Spring Garden Road, but we wanted to continue through to Foresthill, even with a couple miles of gentler climbing. While the town itself is small, there's enough signs from its early 1850 history, as the extremely wide double roadway shows how popular this establishment once was.
If we had a time machine, what year should we come back here to?
1850.
No, 1849. You want to get here a year early.
Oh, I felt pissed.
We headed out east on Foresthill Road to rightly stop at the gas station for water, even though we were carrying 3 bottles. It was easy to knock off the next 5 miles for some much-deserved downhill, highlighting why gravel bikes are fun on both surfaces. Our last turn direction of the day quickly came up, needing not to overshoot and go right on
Ponderosa.
Once again, the pavement soon gives way to dirt as you head down towards the river again, noting the rec fee is for parking and the bridge is only closed to vehicular traffic. We weren't confident about the latter at the time, willing to put up with the choppier surface and the possibility of having to return back.
The bridge is closed?
Up this 8% leaning 5-kilometer descent, as once again it was visually difficult obtaining clues if this was a good idea. Coming up to the Ponderosa Bridge, it's clear it's in worse shape than Yankee Jims, although slightly younger. There's a good reason to do it at this crossing. The climb starts off tame by the river, but after the first switchback, the next 2.2 miles average 10% on some variable surface conditions. Clearly, this part of the ride is a grind, and you wish progress could be made more efficiently. If you're a glass half full person, you'll enjoy the occasional views back, trading off with the byproduct coming from little tree cover, bringing extra heat. The climb does seem endless, but it does finish off the last third of a mile with pavement and welcoming shade. While it doesn't last more than a mile, the next section is a lot of fun, winding back and forth across the road. But the ride ends with a little climbing that feels manageable next to what you just tackled, as it's just a mile left after the rail crossing.
Well, Dan from Victory Villa was right. Springtime might have been a little bit better. The heat definitely got on us, but making a stop in the middle, great choice. Also, to look in and out of all the history knickknacks is pretty cool, especially we need more bridges across California. Anyways, if you'd like to learn more, please check out our gravel guides, or please support us on Patreon so we can have more trips like this to bring you other stories from the state of dirt.